Oh, all right, ladies and gentlemen, Connor Rhodes from slumsociety.co.uk, and today we are going to be talking about, reacting to, and reviewing a video made by a lady called Amberlynn Reid, who you may have heard of because she's got more followers than me, and the video is called Why I'm Gaining Weight. And this lady is chronicling, vlogging her weight loss journey, and she currently weighs above 500 pounds, so she's got a decent journey ahead of her, but she's struggling with the weight loss. So we're going to be talking about this today because I feel that there's a lot that we can learn from the understanding of this lady, and I'm going to try and help you with your weight loss through the understanding of this lady. So this lady's apparently been trying to lose weight for a while, and like I said, struggling. So let's see what's going on, and let's see what we can do to help everyone, shall we? So here we go on YouTube. We're going to be watching this video, as you can see at the bottom here. The reason why I'm gaining weight, posted recently. 181,000 views. Many views for this lady. Let's see what's happening.
Today's video is going to be me sharing what I ate a few days ago, where I woke up positive, determined, ready to be on track, and I started the day really good and I felt good, and then somewhere in the middle of the day it all came tumbling down.
We've all experienced this. Sometimes you start off with the all best of intentions, don't you? And then life happens and stuff gets in the way. Let's see what's happening with this lady. Let's see what we can do to help.
I'm going to be sharing calories.
Good.
And everything. And at the end of this, I'm going to share, because I have my laptop right here, and I pay for premium on my FitnessPal for when I count calories. It shows the totals of everything.
All right, well, quick top tip for everybody. You don't have to do that. You don't need to look at the totals of everything. You can pay for the premium if you want to, but there aren't really, in my opinion, many advantages to this. And I also wanted to say, this lady seems nice. This lady seems friendly and nice. This lady seems lovely.
So not only am I going to show you calories, but I'm going to show you how many carbs I had, how much fat I had, protein, sodium, and sugar for the whole day.
All right, most of that's not too important,
totally
but okay.
Transparent right now. I feel kind of vulnerable, embarrassed, ashamed, but this is why I've gained weight, and I want to show you guys what it is that is causing the weight gain. I mean, obviously it's the overeating and stuff like that, but I want to physically show you.
Well, that's great. So at least this lady's understanding that it must be something to do with the food, and she said it's the overeating. That's great. We're on to a good track so far.
So I'm going to show photos of the food that I ate, because I took pictures of everything. It was for myself, for accountability. I've been trying to do that lately.
That's a good tactic. I will say that is a good tactic. If any of my 6 Steps to Slim members are struggling with their weight loss, one of the things we can do as an option, one of the things I do often, is people send pictures of their food to me, and then we both have a look at their food and see what changes we could make. So it's a good idea. It's good for mindfulness, and it's a good easy way of doing a food diary.
But I decided, I feel like it's important that I show this. So let's get into it. So for meal 1, I had a Premier protein shake and cookies and cream. It was 160 calories. I'm referencing on my FitnessPal on my laptop. If you guys see me look over here. It was the first time I ever had the cookies and cream flavor of the Premier protein, and I want to say I have tried chocolate and vanilla as well. And out of the 3, the vanilla is disgusting. Premier protein, cookies and cream is the way to grow. It's the way to go. So I definitely recommend it. So for meal number 2, I made a...
That's not an amazing breakfast. Protein, which is good. Liquid calories, debatable. If you're on a weight loss journey, one of the things that you'll struggle with is hunger, and food volume, how much stuff actually goes into your stomach, is important. So starting off with a small liquid meal, maybe not the greatest, but I understand she's trying to keep her calories down. So let's see where it goes.
Veggie stir fry.
Veggie stir fry.
So I had baby carrots that were 35 calories that I cut up myself.
All right.
I had broccoli, which was 60 calories. Some baby sweet corn, which came out to 60 calories. The water chestnuts came out to 100. And then I used 6 tablespoons of General So sauce, which was 198 calories. So for this meal, it was 453.
Calorie counting seems not bad. She seems to be accounting for everything right there, doesn't she? Looked a bit small, I will say. You can't really... maybe I shouldn't judge. You can't really tell from just... I'm sure you saw the picture just pop up on YouTube then. Hopefully the picture of me wasn't blocking that picture, but it looked nice. Looked a little bit small. If you're gonna go for vegetables, I always recommend going in hard on the vegetables because they're very, very low calories. You can eat lots of it. You can stay fuller for longer.
Honestly, it was super, super delicious.
Excellent.
10 out of 10 recommend. I
also
thoroughly
recommend
loved it,
veggie stir fry.
and it filled me up like a lot.
Well, that's good.
So I'm not
Good news.
sure what switched inside of me. I overeat in large quantities for several different reasons.
That's pretty much the same for everybody, isn't it? It's never usually just one thing causing it. It's an amalgamation of factors.
And it just felt very robotic.
So
I felt
non-mindful.
like I couldn't control myself.
The red binge-eating mister descends sometimes. We've all had this, haven't we? Maybe this lady struggles with it a little bit more than most, perhaps, but common, I would say somewhat normal sometimes.
With everything that I'm about to show you. So prior to these next food decisions, I guess you could say, they're not even decisions because it's like I literally felt like it wasn't me. The first 2 meals that I had, I was very intuitive with it. I was thinking about what I feel like would be right for me and my calorie limit and what would make me feel the best. But everything I eat from this point on, I wasn't thinking. I'm not making excuses whatsoever. It's just how it is for me, unfortunately.
It's not excuses, is it? Because it's one of the actual real problems, but mindful eating is very important, not just going into the red mist mode like I just mentioned, isn't it? It's easy to do that.
So here we have a box of wheat thins, and we have this garlic and herb soft spreadable cheese, which is super amazing. So
I'm sure it is.
They were both unopened, and by the time I was done, I ate the whole bag of wheat thins, which is 128 pieces according to their nutritional
128 sounds like a lot. They must be small.
Thing on the back of it. And I ate all of the garlic and herb cheese, which is so good.
Understandable, especially if you like it.
Which supposedly is 18 tablespoons. So for the wheat thins, it was 1,120 calories.
Ooh,
and for the
that's expensive.
Spreadable cheese was 600 calories, which came out to 1,720.
Less than I thought for the spreadable cheese, to be fair. This is not unreasonable food, though. I, personally, do not like wheat thins or garlic herb dip. I literally don't like. So would I eat that? No. But if it was a tube of chocolate digestives, I could eat the full thing. Or, something simple. That's not a lot of food, though, is it? It's a packet of whatever. If it was a packet of chocolate, I'd eat it quick. So it's understandable that if that's one of your food preferences and that's one of the things that you enjoy and find highly palatable, like she was literally saying, the lady, oh my god, it tastes so good, sort of thing. If you love this type of food, then it's reasonable to eat the full thing, to be fair. You've got to be careful. You've got to be careful buying big packs of things that you have a tendency to overeat, because then it can start to stray you off, can't it?
And I want to tell you right now, after this, I felt so sick. My stomach started cramping, and it was going on for about an hour. Just like these horrible pains, and it was 100% because of the cheese. Obviously.
Yeah, that might be the lactose in the cheese. It might be that's a lot of like dried wheat as well, which could also be quite aggressive on the stomach, I suppose.
If I would have had a normal portion, I wouldn't have felt sick like that.
That's a fair point.
I ate the whole thing.
Understandable.
And it was like autopilot. So it was about an hour later, and I was still feeling sick, but it's almost like I couldn't stop myself from eating. So I had 2 packs of these salami snack packs. I like to have them.
I'm not sure if that's a good snack.
Unfortunately,
to be fair.
sometimes they are a trigger for me.
Yeah.
For 1 pack is
like
150 calories.
Oh, that's low. That's not bad.
And
so at least it's protein as well,
I had 2
quite
packs,
fatty.
it was
But
300. As you can tell, I don't know if you guys can tell. Like, I don't know if it's visible, but I'm feeling kind of anxious sharing all this. Whew. Like, I'm just starting to feel kind of like antsy, and
it's understandable, isn't it? It's understandable. Lots of people do feel out of control with the food. Obviously, this lady is not that she's pointing this day out as a bad day of eating, because it's not something that, like, she's explaining that she's not pleased that these things happen and this is why these are the things she's trying to change. So she's talking about her struggles. It's natural, isn't it, to be a little bit. It is an emotionally tied thing, for sure. It's not. Don't beat yourself up about feeling emotional about trying to make changes and struggling with things. It's perfectly normal.
I don't know, something about sharing this day for me, especially this day of eating, is just like really hard, because this is like a really bad day of eating for
If it's
me.
particularly bad, it makes sense.
And after I had the salami, I thought to myself, I need something sweet. So I had
Yes.
chocolate covered peanuts.
Something savoury, something sweet. We know the feeling, don't we?
It was 400 calories worth.
Chocolate peanuts, that's not that sweet. Come on. 400 calories. Easy
So,
done with
in
chocolate
this
peanuts.
picture,
That's not
this
many
is all that
peanuts,
was
to be fair.
left, so this is exactly how much I
Yeah,
ate
that
of
looks
it.
small.
Because I had
I had to quit flipping getting pick and mix at the cinema, because I used to go to the cinema and get a little bag of pick and mix, and over time I used to have a Cineworld card when cinemas were a thing. Over time I ended up progressing to the larger bags of pick and mix, of course, but over time the contents of the pick and mix became only chocolate covered hazelnuts. Literally, I'd just get a full bag of chocolate covered hazelnuts, and I was also putting on pounds when I was doing that, and I had to quit it.
ate some like days prior. So for those 2 things, came out to 700 calories.
Calorie dense
And I didn't
foods,
stop
these.
there. A few hours later, I had couscous.
Couscous not
roasted
bad.
garlic olive oil, and
Olive
I
oil
had
expensive.
a whole box myself.
Again, I know you can see that picture. Looks small. I could also eat all that. Again, am I a major couscous fan? No. But if you replace that with equivalent amount of chips, I'll eat it. Or rice, Mexican fried rice, I'm going in. Not a lot of food there.
You can see in this bowl, this is how much it was. It doesn't look like a lot, but
Agreed.
it was a whole box, and that came out to 810 calories.
It's a lot of
And I
carbs. Carbs can
remember
cost.
while I was eating it, I was probably halfway through with the bowl, and I was no longer hungry. I was full. My stomach hurt. I was bloating. I felt...
That's probably a continuation of stomach pressures from the earlier foods, which also were giving us stomach cramps. So it's just a lot of stress on the stomach just accumulating.
miserable, sluggish, but it's like I couldn't stop eating it. And I do this thing when I have something.
We've all done that with foods that we love, haven't we? Just, for me, it's chocolate. You feel sick eating it, but you still continue. Ice cream as well, sometimes I do that.
I want something sweet afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So I had about 4 tablespoons of this Jif creamy peanut butter, and that came out to 380 calories.
Peanut butter, again, expensive.
Yeah. So that's everything I ate, and that's the reason why I'm gaining weight, because...
To be honest, I'm not going to lie, I expected more. So I'm not sure I can remember every single thing this lady just ate. Maybe she'll list it again. But what did she have? A protein shake, a veggie stir fry, which was quite small and quite low calories, and then a load of snacks. Probably most of us have eaten that many snacks in one. Oh, she had some couscous, and then around that just snacks, like some peanut butter on a spoon and some peanuts, actually, wasn't it? Overall, not that much food, I thought.
I start every day, majority of every day, on track, and then
That's good.
something just shifts inside of me, and it's like I'm...
I don't know if it's... Yeah, it's... We'll just go to the end, because I feel like I've got a few points of just maybe how. Maybe this kind of thing happens to you. You start the day with best intentions and then something throws it off. There's things we can do.
I'm no longer who I was when I first woke up, and it's so confusing to me. So in total, I ate 4,223 calories. I had 400.
We've all eaten that much before. I've eaten flipping 2,500 calories in one Pizza Hut. We've all snacked away 4K, definite.
72 carbs, 206 fat.
Again, just as a reiteration from the start, it's okay to look at these numbers, but the amount of fats and carbs and stuff like this that you're eating, this is for all of us, for everybody really, it's not really that important. It's just about that first number that she said. It's about the 4,000 calories. This other stuff might be overwhelming this lady without actually providing any benefit for this taking up space in her mind, because she's thinking about these things, but it's not to any major positive effect.
137 protein.
That's a good protein actually. 137.
Sodium and sugar is like what really triggers me.
Okay.
I had 8,017 milligrams of sodium. And I
8
had
grams, was that 8,000 milligrams? Okay. Yeah.
Grams of sugar. It is very hard to...
Yeah, all carbs are sugar though, really, aren't they? So it's going to be a lot of sugar, really. It's going to be a lot of carbs and a lot of sugar, because most of those, maybe not the protein shake and the stir fry, but the snacks had quite a lot of carbs in and stuff like that, didn't they?
Count calories on a day where I binge.
This is an excellent flipping point, and absolutely huge props for this. This is an excellent flipping point. This lady just said that she struggles to count calories on days that she binges. This is a very, very common occurrence. We use calorie counting with our 6 Steps to Slim members, not forever, not even throughout the entire length of the program, just at the start, at the beginning, because it's an excellent food education tool, and people really do struggle in general when they've overeaten to keep putting the calories into, because you don't want to know, do you? Because you already know it's bad, so you don't want to know how bad it is. But that not putting it into the app, this lady's done the right thing, helps perpetuate the non-mindful eating, because if you don't know how bad it is, then you're hiding from the problem, and hiding from problems doesn't fix them, does it? So it's great. It's absolutely great. This is how you change problems, is first by looking at and understanding them. It's great that this lady has calorie counted even on a day when it's not gone well. If you only calorie count on the days it does go well, you're just giving yourself a positive bias, aren't you? You're not looking at the real full picture.
Because it just, seeing the numbers makes it more real for me.
That's the game.
Because when I binge,
it hurts a little bit, but it's productive in some ways too.
Afterwards, I feel so regretful and disgusting and horrible and sick.
This is not good.
And I try to just not think about it anymore. And that's you.
And it makes sense, doesn't it? Because you don't want to think about it. That does make sense. But also, again, hiding from the problems doesn't fix them. So it's not to beat yourself up, because then that just adds more negativity to something that's already negative. But if you don't ever look at the problem, this lady has looked at the problem, which is great. She has looked at the problem. But if you don't ever look at the problem, how are you ever going to learn from it? It's like if you get a maths sum wrong in a wildly different example, just to illustrate the point. But then if you just think, oh, I don't understand how to do this sum, I don't understand how to do this, and then you don't look at the problem to try and understand how to do it better next time, you just sack it off and just think, oh, next time you come to do it, you're not going to be able to do it again, are you? You have to analyse why it didn't go correctly to try and then do something a little bit different next time. Difficult sometimes, but productive.
Usually what happens, but seeing the numbers like this is just awful. It's an awful feeling, and it just furthermore makes me question how I can continue to do this to myself. But it doesn't make me question why I feel as horrible as I do. This definitely, like, these numbers are the answer to everything I've been asking myself.
Pretty much.
Why am I gaining weight? Why can't I breathe as good anymore?
This is why calorie count is important.
Can't I walk as long as I used to? Why am I so swollen? Like, oh, yeah. You know, I just wish more people were...
This lady's upsetting me. I feel just, obviously it's just difficult for this lady, isn't it?
Open about things like this on YouTube.
It is important to be open about it.
No one's perfect in their journey, but I can understand why there's not many videos of people talking about this, because it's scary and people are judgmental, and it's
That is true, and I would like to say a point on that in a minute. People are flipping judgmental, and I am going to say something about that in a second as well.
Really hard to talk about, especially to a bunch of strangers and like a huge audience. Anyone could be watching
It
this,
is brave to put it out
but
there.
I think that's the reason why I wanted to show you guys, is because I know there's a lot of people who watch me who struggle just like I do. You guys aren't alone. You guys aren't alone. And
she's exactly right. Every single person that comes to see me about the 6 Steps to Slim program is essentially, maybe not exactly where this lady is, but they're at wit's end. Because by the time you get to me, I'm not that famous. You've already tried everything else. You've already tried Skinny Watchers and Weight World 19 times. And you've tried every shake and just flipping everything by the time people get to me. So I understand, literally, every single person that comes to me is maybe not in the exact same physical situation as this lady, but the feelings are somewhat the same.
I know there's so many people who look normal online who struggle like I do, and it's just like very, very unfortunate that like you see my struggles physically. I thoroughly believe that my weight is just a symptom of something else. Anyways, I'm just rambling now, but yeah, I hope that you guys did enjoy this video, and if you guys liked it, I can do more.
She's not wrong, and she was not rambling. She absolutely 100% hit the nail on the head right at the last moment there when she said her weight is a symptom of something else. Of course it is. She obviously she got it right at the beginning as well. It is about the food, and she said about the overeating, yes, but why is this overeating occurring? That's the real thing, isn't it? It's to fix these things, you have to assess the problem by looking at it like this lady is, even though it's difficult, and like being mindful, and then trying to attack the root cause of the problem, not just change the symptom, not just think, oh, I eat too much, okay, well, why don't I stop? And then just trying to stop. No, why are you eating too much? This is the thing. Why is this happening? Why is this lady waking up with good intentions and then it's all going to pot? There's only so, it's going to be different for every person, but there's only so many major categories that it can be, isn't it? Like, is it hunger? This is one of the first things that popped into my head with this lady's diet, is it's a very low food volume and very calorie dense diet. Like, she started off with liquid calories. Liquids just digest so fast through. It's not filling you up barely. It's protein, which is good, but it's not really filling you up. Then she went on to a veggie stir fry without carbs. So by the time she's got to lunchtime, she's had no carbs. And I don't know about this lady in depth. I've not seen any blood tests she might have had or anything, but her blood sugar management at higher body weights, it might not be the best for people. So if you've had no carbs, by the time it gets to lunchtime, you might not be feeling great. You've had protein, you've had veg, yes, but you've had very low calories. You've had no carbs. You've had, not much actual sustenance in general for somebody who, yes, you're trying to lose weight, but if you've got a lot of weight to lose, it's not about just trying to slash the calories as low as possible. Little steps often is much, much more positive. Let me just switch you back here while I'm just speaking to you. Sorry about that. Little steps often. I know calories are not volume like this, but if you're eating this many calories, you don't want to go from here to here. You don't want to go from huge to very little or none. You want to go from whatever it is to just a little bit less, and then just see how you feel. You won't feel that much different. Will you lose crazy weight? No. But will it be successful? Yes. And then you need to step again. So I'm thinking this lady's got to be hungry and she's got to not be feeling good. And then she said that, she didn't say this, but I said the red binge eating mist. That's what it feels like to me. It's happened to me. And it happens to many of my members too. Descends and then she's eating. It might be low blood sugar. It might be cravings coming in there as well. But if it's hunger, just assess the problems. If it's hunger, we can do something about it. If for you, maybe not for Amberlynn, but let's say for you, if you're thinking it's hunger that throws me off, it's hunger, we can do something about it. You can increase protein intake, you can increase food volume, you can reduce liquid calories, you can increase your step count so that you can actually eat more while losing the same weight. You can not have as big or hardcore of a calorie deficit as this lady's trying. And before making this video today, I obviously went onto this lady's channel to get that video up to show it to you, and she started the Jenny Craig diet, which again I'm just thinking this is trying to go from you eat all this to just 180 degree flip it and change it to something wildly different. This is not patterns for success. This is all or nothing thinking and changing. It needs to be, what do we do now? Assessment, like with the calorie counting. She found out on that day she ate 4,000 calories. Maybe that is a bit extreme. Maybe because she's saying this is a particularly bad day for her. Maybe usually she doesn't eat that much. And I'll show you something, actually. I'll switch you back to the other view like this, and let's go on to this BMR calculator, because I actually just want to show you something that we could all end up in this situation like this lady. Is her weight high? Yes, okay, she's at the higher weight ends of people, isn't she? But that doesn't mean that she actually eats that much. Like, you could have eaten, let's say you like those foods, you could have eaten what she ate in that day. It wasn't actually a crazy wild amount of food, like some man versus food kind of thing where you're thinking, oh my God. It wasn't, was it? It was mostly just low volume, fast digesting, carbohydrate or high fatty carby, sort of really lots of calories for a really small amount type of food. It wasn't actually that crazy. And just to illustrate the point with the calorie calculator, you know, as you gain more and more weight through body fat, which is what it is, isn't it? The more body fat you gain, it doesn't really mean that you're eating more and more and more and more and more exponentially. Do you know every time you gain 1 pound of body fat, do you know how much that puts your calorie maintenance level, the amount of calories that it takes you to stay that same weight, up by 2? It's 2. So do you know every time you gain 1 stone, your calorie maintenance level, the amount you have to eat to keep that stone on, only goes up by 28 calories per day. That's like 2 or 3 flipping fries, chips, isn't it? So, you know, if you eat 100 calories over maintenance, you can and will, it'll take a while, but you'll gain 4 stone. Slowly but surely, or some people can, depending on your metabolism. Some people can. So this lady is not necessarily massively overeating, even though, yes, she weighs over 500 pounds. That doesn't mean it takes her an absolutely wild amount of food to maintain that. And I'm going to show you right here, look. This is a BMR formula, as you can see there, called Mifflin St. Jeor. I believe I'm pronouncing that mildly incorrectly. It asks for the gender in this specific one, female, age. I believe this lady's around 30. I didn't know this lady's height, so I've just put in 170. And then let's put in this lady's weight. She's probably slightly more than this, but around 230 kilograms or something like that. Let's just see what it comes out at if I put 240. And it's basically the same anyway. This is what I said, it barely adjusts it. So it's something like 230 kilos, which is something like 500 pounds. Look at the BMR. Here, look at the BMR. 3,000 calories per day. That's not that high, is it? That's not that high. Because I have a good protein intake and a good step count and I do my exercises, I only weigh flipping like 160 pound, not 500 plus pound like this lady. And my flipping, not BMR, but my calorie maintenance level, if you take into account my exercise, is not much lower than that. Mine's like 2,600 or something. So this lady, maybe, to maintain her body weight, only has to eat like 400 calories more than me. It's because the more weight you gain, that's not necessarily adding that much more to your metabolism. And I've seen some people in the comments down here, which is one of the things I wanted to say about people being judgmental. Because if you ever produce content online or put anything online at all, just don't listen to people in the comments. This person, maybe a lady here, has been nice. Girl, keep doing your hair and makeup like this. It looks so good on you. It does. Her hair and makeup looks flipping nice. But everybody else is just an arsehole. And you just can't listen to these flipping nobodies online who've got absolutely nothing better to do than just chat shit and just write negative comments to people who are trying to make changes in their life over the internet. Oh, big whoop you. I don't even know what that makes you. Like this person's put, this isn't a journey anymore. It's an odyssey and your ship is just going in circles. What does that mean? This person's put, despite the sad and anxious mood, your hair looks beautiful. That's a nice comment, isn't it? This person's put, she's gaining weight and overeating because of unhealthy foods. This person says, girl, don't you get tired of saying the same stuff and telling the same story? Well, Sarah Fairy Tale, you're the one fucking watching it. Don't you get she's just chronicling, it's her life. It's her life. Maybe she is bored of struggling with the weight, don't you think so? Aren't you bored of, have you got nothing better to do than watch other people, what they're doing? And that you must have nothing going on in your life if you're watching what other people have got going on in their life and then commenting negative to it. Like you just, I don't even know. This person's put, it's not worth 10 minutes, just say you're overeating and go. People are just awful, aren't they? Fuck these people. Who are these negative Nancy's online who've got nothing better to do? They're just in a basement online commenting. I know it's lockdown and you're bored, but fuck off also as well. Just awful people. I hope this Amberlynn lady, let me switch you back again. I hope this Amberlynn lady does not read the comments and does not pay any attention to what people say online, because she's trying her best. I mean, if you watch her recent videos, which I've not watched through them, but she's joined the Jenny Craig diet. So she's trying things, isn't she? She's trying things. Is she trying the right things? Not necessarily. I'm going to summarize the video, okay? So what should she do and what should you do if you feel lost with your food like this? You're struggling, you've been trying for a while, you've been trying this and that, and you're just not getting a handle on it. It's this Amberlynn lady, she started by doing the right thing with the calorie counting, and it's not that the calorie counting is the right thing to do necessarily before you jump on it and you're like, calorie counting is negative for this reason. Just wait a second. She started with the right thing by assessing her own food intake and habits. Oh, calorie counting's awful. It's also a great food diary and education for you on what you actually eat, and maybe even why you eat these things and what you eat at certain times and how it's affecting you. It's not just calorie counting. It's also an excellent food diary and mindfulness and education tool, not only on food, but on you and what you do. She started by doing the right things, then she can see in front of her eyes where the calories are coming into a diet. She realizes that it's too many. She ate 4,000 on this day. Maybe her maintenance level is only 3,000. Maybe it is. So this lady, to lose weight, she's going to have a similar calorie intake to other ladies. Maybe 2,000 to 2,500, 2,500 or something like this might be a better calorie intake. But basically what we need to do is find out what you're eating now, and instead of going from here, flipping that upside down and trying to squash it all together and then calling it Jenny Craig Max Results or whatever their thing is flipping damn called. This is too much of a big change in one go. You're not going to be able to stick to it. I also couldn't stick to this. No, people can't stick to these things. Any meal plans, any diet clubs, any nutritionists or anybody that gives you a plan and they say, oh, yeah, I know. We understand. You eat too much and you want to lose weight. You know your life and all these things that you usually eat, all this stuff you usually do, cancelled. You now do this, and then they give you a plan. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. You can't just switch from your life as it is now to somebody else's life or somebody else's plan of what your life should be like when they don't even know you. Ridiculous. We need to do small, steady changes often. So find out, number one, why you're struggling. Again, I'll go back to my point where I thought one of the problems for Amberlynn here might be hunger, because she starts off with liquid food and then she starts off her second meal's no carbs. And if you're going to eat vegetables, eat more vegetables than that. Get a pile on of the vegetables and try and eat loads of it, or make more of it and then put some in a Tupperware and then eat that an hour or two later if you know you're going to be hungry again, so you've got more good food prepared, right? Instead, she's keeping the calories too low and trying to be too healthy and do too big extreme changes in the beginning of the day, and then by the time she gets to lunchtime, old habits just come back. Maybe she's feeling a little bit low blood pressure, she's not feeling in control, she's feeling a bit confused, and then she just starts going for snacks and highly palatable tasting food. So maybe it's hunger, maybe it's cravings. If it's cravings, you just slowly work on the cravings and the reasons why you're craving. Like it might be the food environment. Like if she's keeping massive tubs of this garlic dip and these big wheat things in there because she knows that she likes that, of course you're going to eat it because it's just sat there waiting. If you left chocolate in my cupboards, I'd just eat it. So I just have to not hoard and store chocolate, don't I? So maybe it's the food environment. Maybe it's every time you go into your cupboards in your house, there's things that you love and things that you find tasty. Then do you wonder why you're tempted? Because I don't. So maybe it's the food environment. Maybe it's flipping stress, in which case we need stress management methods. Maybe it's boredom. Then we need better entertainment, than healthier entertainment that's not damaging our healths as much as chewing. Because if we just chew through our days and evenings and weekends, which it's easy to do right now. It's easy to do right now, isn't it? Pandemic and all, it's easy to do. We need to have other forms of entertainment to give ourselves fulfillment in life, to give ourselves dopamine hits and pleasure and distraction and to de-stress and distract. And all this type of, we need other things to do than just chew. That's what we gotta do. That's what we gotta do, ladies and gentlemen. Assess the actual root causes of the problems and then don't go from wherever you are now to a 180 degree flip to where you think you should be. Oh, I think I should be eating this. Oh, I shouldn't be. No. This is all in your mind. Just go from where you are now, one step forward. Once you've done that one, message me again. This is what I get to do with my, this is all I literally do with my members. We just do one easy goal, and I like it, honestly, I like it to be an easy goal. I like if I set you a target for you to go, yeah, that sounds easy. You know, if I start off your goals on the 6 Steps to Slim program, I want you to think, oh, that sounds easy. Good. Then when you've done it, get back to me. Then I'll give you the next one when you've done the first one. I'm not giving you flipping 9 things to do at once. Oh, you need to cut this out, eat this, you need to do this, and this, and this, and this. Of course, you're not going to manage it. Let's just do one thing. Let's just do one thing. Then we'll do the next thing when we've done the one thing. We'll keep it simple. That makes sense. I hope it does. Don't try and just switch to something else that you think you should be doing. Just make small, achievable, manageable changes. Assess the root causes of the problem. What's throwing me off? Hunger, cravings, boredom, stress. More different ones, but they're the ones I just mentioned, isn't it? And then start attacking the root causes of those problems too, figuring out why. Yes, it's the food, but why is it the food? What's going on that's causing the overeating? Try and get in the way. Try and cut the problems off at the pass. That's enough from me. Don't you think? That's enough from me. Thank you so much. If you like the video, leave it a little like. If you've got comments, leave on a comment. If you want help with your food intake or your health or happiness or fat loss, fitness or food, go to slimsociety.co.uk. You can find information on there and you can contact me through one of the contact boxes. Thank you so much. Speak to you and I'll see you again soon.